Some of those things, like from playing 14 years, I was, in terms of baseball player, I was an average professional baseball player in terms of my athletic ability. I had the ability to hit. I could throw guys out. Wasn't the best receiver, wasn't the best blocker, wasn't the best athletic catcher behind the plate, but I drove in more runs than I let up.
There you go.
That kept me around, a lot longer than some of the other guys. But just learning some of those things, like playing the game, you kind of did a lot of those things naturally.
Yeah.
And you didn't even think about it. And then once you get out of the game and you get into the business of teaching kids, you really had to start to peel back and go, well, how do I get this across? What am I doing? And how can I explain this to somebody? And then I would just sit there and figure out, like, okay, well, how am I getting to where I need to be? How do I get my feet in this position here and go, all right, well, how do I explain this now to somebody to work on if I'm running a catching clinic, talking to kids about their footwork, throwing the ball to second base, that is just like to spin and their weight transfer goes all towards third base or shortstop. And then their compensation has to be with the wrist angle, and then the ball fades back into the second baseman up the line. And then your shortstop and second baseman are getting killed.
Right.
So I had to go back and try to think, I'm like, who was the one that taught me the quarter turn? And I believe it was Dewey Colburn.
Okay.
His first name was Craig Colburn. He was with the Padres organization. So it was really about in 98 when I was with the Padres organization. He was the hitting coach. I had Jerry Royster, who was my manager.
Yep.
And I had Dave Smith, who was the pitching coach, and Craig was the hitting coach.
Okay.
And I think that's where I got it from, ultimately. So that's where the whole quarter turn came into play. At that point,
Okay.
Because typically they just say, get the ball in your hand and when you grab it, it goes down there. And they're like, no, you got to get a good grip.
Yep. So, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And, it's almost like a magic trick. I have, what I'll do is I'll have players close their eyes and, hold their hand the way you taught me. And every single time they do that quarter turn, they catch seams, man. They can't believe it. It's like I'm a magician, and I got it from you.
It's funny how when you get it in the hand, and you get that, and you get the middle finger going away from you, and you're pulling the thumb down, that little spin. And the key is knowing that when you grab the ball, and if you've grabbed it a million times, you know how far you have to spin the ball in a split second. Right. You know what it feels like in your hand, and it may be a quarter turn that time. It may not be any turn, depending on how it gets in your hand. But you only have the time that you drop that ball off into your hand and your front foot hits the ground to get that grip, and it's time to go forward.
Yes, sir. Yes,
you
sir.
You really only have a split second for it, which is, when you really start to think about it, you peel it all back and go, that ain't a whole lot of time. Holy smokes. How the hell could you do that?
It's got to happen automatic, man. It's got to happen automatic. So, yes, sir. Okay, good deal. So, okay, we're in a situation where you have the opportunity to live a dream that a lot of us have. This is every single ball player in the world that comes up as a kid and dreams about stepping foot on that big league stage. So, if it's okay with you, I want to go behind the scenes a little bit, just to talk about how you even got to the point to get there, and just the experiences that you had. So now, you're a Jersey guy, right?
I was born in Jersey. At the age of 6 months, we moved back to a small town where I'm at now, Phoenixville. Okay, grew up in Phoenixville, which is about 35 miles west of Philadelphia.
Okay, got it. Okay, so East Coast, and one of the main things that we talk about is, I'm in Texas now. One of the reasons why I moved to Texas is to give my son a different opportunity to come up in the amateurs? Because, you know, in Baltimore, you know, we only get like a season maybe, and that's about it weather wise. And I know some things have changed technology wise around your area as far as the indoor facilities, man. There's been some big improvements, but what was it like playing ball as a youth, you know, in that area, just coming up weather wise? How many seasons did you get a chance to get into? Did you play travel ball? What was it like coming up when you came up?
So I'm 51, so I'm 10 years older than you. My athleticism came from playing 4 sports. Okay. I went from football season turned into swim season and basketball season, which turned into baseball. Okay. Yes, so I was a 4-sport athlete. I started at the age of 4 swimming. I remember watching, I believe it was Evel Knievel, who decided to try to jump over the Snake River, I believe, in a rocket and almost killed himself. And they showed all the things of him jumping all these trucks and things and stuff. I'm like, that's kind of cool. So the next day I went out, 4 years old, I was riding my bike down the street. Yeah. And I saw a car decide that they're going to drive up the road. Now I live on a one-way street, cars parked on both sides. And I decided, I said, you know what? If Evel Knievel can do this, so can I. I darted in between 2 parked cars. Okay. Tried to beat the car going across the street. Oh, well, 16-year-old driver who just got her license like 3 days before smoked me, smashed my femur.
Oh, no. And how old were you?
I was 4.
Oh, my goodness.
So she hit me and smashed my femur in 3 different places. I was in what they call traction. So I was in hospital bed with my leg up, suspended in the air for 30 days. I couldn't do anything. So they had to let the bones kind of like grow back together. Then they put me in a full body cast, which meant I had a cast that went just below my belly button, had my privates open so that I can go 1 and 2.
Yeah, use the belly, right?
And I had a bar and it was stuck in between my thighs and I was spread eagle for 6 weeks after that. So the doctor's like, as soon as we got out of it, they're like, hey, well, you know, we want to do some rehab, do whatever. What's the best thing? They're like, swimming is the best thing. So at the age of 4, my mom took me and threw me in a pool. And I started swimming after that. So that's what happened for me in terms of like all the different sports growing up. We did not have travel baseball when I was there. Okay.
Just being an athlete. And, you know, you're the second catcher that has mentioned swimming. And you know, I wonder if that has anything to do with helping with mobility, because I know swimming stretches the muscles out a little bit and it helps you be a bit more athletic and you know, just able to move around.
I was tall and skinny. I hit a growth spurt. I was about 6 foot when I was 12, but I was also about 120 pounds. I was a beanpole. If I could pull up some swimming pictures, you'd be like, wait a second, that's you? I'm like, yeah, you know, right now I'm sitting at 300. Okay. Yeah. I hide it well. People was like, man, what are you, 250, 260? I go, yeah, I'm 300, but thank you.
Yeah, so there you go.
Big boned. I got that catcher butt.
There you go. So, there you go. All from the waist down.
Yeah. Yes, so in terms of the baseball, you asked about a little bit about travel baseball. So a little bit about what I did. So at the age of 15, I stopped swimming. I got tired of watching the black line. Okay. It was my mother's sport. Every other sport that I played, as far as football, the basketball, and the baseball, was really more of my dad's sport. Yeah. And it was a very tough decision when I came at 15. I said, Mom, I'm done swimming. Well, I think to this day, she's 77, 78. Maybe she's 81. I don't even know how old she is right now. Yeah. I believe she still holds a grudge that I quit her sport.
Thank you for watching the FCO Show YouTube channel. Like and subscribe here to stay up to date with the latest highlights and clips and keep up with all things catching.